Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the KB Talk Show. I'm Kwame Badu, and I've got a fantastic guest on the show for you guys today. His name is Amey from Amey Finance, and he's going to be dropping some gems on how to manage your money and how to stop living from paycheck to paycheck. I can't wait to hear what he's got in store for you guys, so stay tuned and stay notified. Des, my man.
Kwame.
How you doing, brother?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Good. You know, I'm actually happy to have a Chale boy, a fellow Ghanaian on the show here. Look, I've been following you for years on a platform. Yeah, and I know you haven't noticed just little me, but now I've got you on my show.
When I got the email to come on the show, it was like getting an England call-up, you know?
Yes, to cover the squad and play up front. Now, brilliant. Well, we're actually glad to have you here. So, I mean, I want to know a bit about yourself, and I want to share that with the audience as well. Let the viewers understand more about who you are and where you got to. But I want to ask you something before we even begin. Are you rich?
Whenever people say I'm rich, I say amen.
Amen.
You know, I receive it. But ultimately, you know, rich is a subjective term. You know, it means different things to different people. You could be rich, you know, because you have a nice, loving family. You know, you could be rich in friends. But of course, you know, you mean it in a monetary sense, and you never ever really feel rich. You know, success is a moving target. You always want more. You know, one of my first targets was to replace my income. Then another target was to earn my old annual salary monthly. But you always want more. That's you know. Yeah. But ultimately, what we try to get people to a point where they are financially independent.
Come on. You know? That's it. So what would you class as financially independent? I mean, okay, I've got the kids, the house, the picket fence, I've got the whip. I go to work Monday to Friday, I've got my 9 to 5, you know, and I can pay the bills. I go on holiday with my mates, I can take the family on holiday. Is this financially free? Is this independent?
Yeah, I mean, you've hit a lot of things directly on the head. Essentially, it's not having to worry about money, you know, being able to make certain choices without having to worry about where the money's coming from. If you're looking for, you know, a really good definition, I always say it's being able to go on holiday for at least 6 months and not having to worry about where money's coming from.
Wow, yes, because that's brilliant, because when I go to Ghana, I don't want to come back. But where the money's coming from pulls me right back.
Absolutely.
You know, I think the longest I've stayed out there is 2 months. And yeah, it was time to get back, you know. You got to pay for the water, the electric, even though there's light off. But, you know, you have to pay for it. Absolutely. Fantastic. So that financial freedom is the key thing. And your platform and yourself, you work and strive to get people to that stage.
Absolutely.
And that's working well for you?
Yeah, working really well. So to really define what we do, we help people to create multiple sources of residual income. You know, residual income is something that, you know, I talk about publicly. I'm regarded as a residual income specialist. Brilliant. And for me, it's very important that everyone has at least one source of residual income. You see, most people earn money by exchanging their time for money, you know, trading their time for money. So working 8 hours and being paid for 8 hours. But we want people to have residual income, multiple sources of residual income, so that they can, for example, go on holiday for 6 months and not have to worry about where the money's coming.
Absolutely, yeah. I know for my business, KB Consultancy, one of the key things I worked on was to make an e-learning platform. So people can actually, you know, sign up and learn all the things that we deliver from a consultancy perspective, but it's pre-recorded. Yes. So we can be away and hopefully hear that Monzo cha-ching.
It's a nice sound.
It's a beautiful sound. It's a beautiful sound, man. Shout out to She Does, because she got me onto that. Wow. I was next to it, I kept hearing cha-ching. I'm like, what's that money? I should be smiling.
Well, that's it. It's making money whilst you're sleeping.
Absolutely.
You see, you know, Warren Buffett, one of the richest men that ever lived, he said it best when he said, if we don't find ways to make money whilst we're sleeping, we will continue to work for money until the day that we die. So that's what we're trying to achieve on our platform. You see, in Proverbs, it says very clearly that the wise man or wise woman leaves an inheritance for their children's children. Wow. And that's what we're concerned with. Everything that we do is, you know, based on biblical principles.
Absolutely. And here we are on Sunday. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Already dropping the gems. So, okay, you're helping other people. You're doing these great things. You're obviously a man of great stature. I understand your office is based in Canary Wharf.
That's correct, the Canary Wharf Tower.
Canary Wharf Tower, wow, the one with the blinking thing on the top.
That's the one.
I look at that as I grew up in East London.
Same.
And that beam,
Ooh.
it calls to you, right?
Yeah, big
like,
time.
I was like, yo,
Yeah.
Dad, what goes on over there? What is that about?
That was me.
Right.
I remember when it sprung up. I think
Yeah.
it was like the late 80s, early
Late
90s.
80s, yeah.
And I used to
Showing
sit.
our age,
Showing our age big time, man. But I used to sit across the park, and I was always fascinated by the building. You know, like what goes on there.
Exactly. It's a beacon, it draws you in, and now you're based there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had the pleasure of actually being in there, and there's a lot of history around Canary Wharf that it was actually created because a lot of people from Isle of Dogs, the poor areas, would have to travel to Oxford Street and so forth to do the shopping. So they created this sort of central London in East London, and it's brilliant. I love the way they've designed it. So how does someone, I want to know about you, bro. I mean, obviously, I can hear you've got a religious background. Was it your education? Was it your parents? What is it that made Des the man he is today that's created this platform that's helping so many?
It's a really good question. So I was born in Ghana, West Africa. I was born in Accra, and I was born to two parents. One was a biomedical scientist, my father, and my mother was a nurse, and they met in a hospital, the hospital that I was born in. And in our family, you have two career choices. You either go into medicine or you go into education.
Simple.
That's it. It's one or the other. They both wanted me to become a doctor. I rebelled and became a school teacher.
Right.
I was given the classic blueprint to success.
Right.
Study hard.
Yeah.
Work hard. Go to university, get a good job, and then work hard in that job and get recognized, get a promotion, and you will have all the things that you desire.
Yes.
I don't know if any of the viewers can recognize that that blueprint to success.
Dude, that's something, it's a mantra I grew up on. And it also involved, that's when you then find your wife, and then get your house, and everything is set.
It seems, on paper, it seems, pretty doable and it seems pretty realistic. So I followed it to a T. I was very obedient, okay, study hard, no problem, I'll do that. And our parents, God bless them, they are well-meaning, but often they don't really understand, how finances really work. So I did all of that, many different careers, but ended up as a school teacher. And I ended up living paycheck to paycheck, living month to month. And, I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with paycheck to paycheck living, but it's when you get paid and the money doesn't seem to stretch. I used to live in my overdraft. I had to rely on credit cards and loans. I ended up in debt. So now I'm looking at this blueprint and I'm saying this doesn't make sense.
Feels like a trap, right?
A big trap. And the problem is the old ways are no longer working. Back in the day, you could maybe apply that formula. I think of one of my uncles, who was a hospital porter. As a hospital porter, he was able to have enough money to, put food on the table, clothe everybody, and buy a 3-bedroom house in Forest Gate. No problem.
Yes.
Now that's a myth.
Yes.
Doing stuff like that now, it's just not possible.
It's a generational understanding, I think, from back then that, having a job, getting paid monthly, paying the mortgage, that's the way of life. But I think, and I'm grateful to that generation because I think that foundation was needed to get us to a level where you and I have been able to say, there's a better way. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to spend more time traveling. I want to, as you rightly put it, have residual income. Which is great. So, all right, so let's talk about this money. Yeah? You said you were working as a deputy head teacher. If you don't mind sharing, roughly what was the annual income on that?
So at the top of my career, I was an assistant head teacher. In fact, I used to work on the Isle of Dogs.
Oh, wow.
Not far from Canary Wharf.
Okay.
So as an assistant head teacher, you'd be looking at around kind of like 58,000.
58,000 per annum.
Yeah. And on paper, that may sound like a lot of money, but it's the cost of living. It's inflation. The problem is, the cost of living is going up way higher than, what we're earning.
Yeah.
And that's the real issue. So the reality of my month was that I'm paying for nursery fees, I'm paying for travel, and things are just, things are not stretching. I'm struggling to make ends meet.